to my new favorite series, the Couch Confessional. I got a new couch and I'm so excited about it. Okay, so last time I talked to you on episode little 1 of the Couch Confessional, the birth of the Couch Confessional. Last time I talked to you, I told you the story of how I got cast on American Idol. Well, guess what? This time, I'm giving something back to you. I'm gonna do an episode, well, sit here and talk. I have made a list of 9 tips I wanna give to you so you can have your best chance to be cast on American Idol and or any other reality singing show, competition show. So disclaimer here, these are TV shows. American Idol, The Voice, America's Got Talent, The X Factor, if that exists still, all those shows are all reality singing show competitions. However, each show is niche in its own way. And because of that, these tips I'm catering, a lot of them will cater to all of the shows, but some of the things I will say might be most pertinent and relevant to American Idol because something that I noticed and that mattered to me when I was in my audition process for American Idol. To me, it's the one show that I've seen that really allows a narrative of each person and their personality and their background. That being said, I'm not really sure about the other shows. I don't keep up with all of them, mostly because it gives me stress, but also I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This is not going to guarantee that you're going to get on any of these shows. It is incredibly hard to do so. However, these are super important tips that I think matter, and not to humble brag here, but I am at a 100% acceptance rate. I am rocking a 100% acceptance rate on American Idol so far. I have auditioned twice in my life, and twice, 2 for 2, I did get on the show. So, and not to mention, I've not only done the audition process, but I've also done the season for a good amount of time, and I've seen who succeeds. I see the pool, I see the talent pool from the beginning, and I see it go whittled down, and I see why people are standing out and succeeding in the competition. And that's, these are things I've learned along the way, not all the things I knew. So anyway, let's jump into it. That's the beginning. I've got 9 tips for you, okay? In no particular order, they're just the way I wrote it down. That's what I'm doing over in this area. Tip number 1, be yourself.
Oh, I can't say this enough.
This matters so dang much, and it sounds cliche. Authenticity is so important in these shows. What you don't see is you're not just singing. To be honest, while you do these shows, proportionally the amount of time, the amount that you're filming with a crew, doing interviews, doing home visits, doing scenes with their characters, rehearsing, all the stuff, the amount that you're actually performing is so small. And do you know what the rest of the time is? They're watching you, they're videoing you, they're seeing you in action. When you're filming 20-hour days, if you are being an act or pretending to be something you are not, it is so obvious. So what the second piece to what I said was authenticity is so important. The lack of authenticity is so obvious. You guys, it is so obvious. So here's the situation about authenticity and being yourself. A lot of it is just about being vulnerable. You do not have to know exactly who you are. I do not know exactly who I am. We are constantly evolving and learning about ourselves. These competitions, American Idol, you can be between the ages of 15 and 28. That is all young people. We aren't supposed to know exactly who we are. However, in that moment, in those days, on the specific day you show up to perform or to film, just be honest about who you are and how you are feeling. That is so important because the audience, the people, the real people who are making the show, they're watching all the footage and they see that authenticity, and that translates so well to America, who wants to vote for you. You've got to be authentic, even if it's owning up to not knowing who you are at the moment. That is still your honest truth. That is still authentic. If you were like, dang, I really just am struggling with this part of my life, just be true to yourself. Be yourself, even if it's a little bit confused, even if it's a little bit zany. You're talking to the queen of quirk, and I knew that. Here's what I knew going in. You know, I had auditioned for the show that led to the audition you guys saw. I knew that because I was really prepared musically and I knew my songs, I'd sung them a million times, I knew what I could do when I walk in the room was I could let my freak flag fly, which is fun for me. I could be fun, I could be zany, I could feel nervous because I knew the second I'd start singing, I'd be fine. So everybody's different. Just be yourself. Do not try to be anything else. It won't work. It won't work for you. And if it does work, one day you're gonna be really tired of it. And then all those fans only know you as one thing. So seriously, be yourself. Okay, tip number 1, done. Tip number 2, and these are in no particular order, but tip number 2 is film yourself. Okay. I don't mean you have to be a vlogger. What I mean is, this comes in handy for two specific reasons. Film yourself singing is very important because you never know when you're gonna get the call that's gonna change your life. The day that I got the call that changed my life, I had no idea it was coming. But you know what I had? Videos of myself singing, because all of a sudden I got to run home and I had videos to send. Because here's the deal, any casting people, whether it's for a musical, for these shows specifically, they are gonna watch so many videos of you singing. Really? Up there? Every time I film one of these, they're freaking doing that. Whatever, they're gonna want videos of you singing. Throughout the entire process of the show, you're gonna constantly be asked for videos of you singing because they need to curate their set list. If you perform in Hawaii in front of hundreds of people on a huge stage for a huge television show that's $1 billion corporation, they need to know what you're gonna sing. Anyway, you are gonna constantly be berated with people needing videos of you singing. Okay, be prepared, help yourself. Reason number 2 to film yourself. It is a huge piece to improving your craft. One of the ways I got a large amount better at singing was recording myself and filming myself singing. I'm not necessarily talking about, okay, my facial expressions got better. You know, that's another thing. What I mean is when you critically listen back to yourself singing, not live, you can get away with a lot of mistakes live singing, but when you listen back, you're gonna hear all the little pieces that you're flat, that you're sharp, that you're kind of out of key, or your timing's funky, you're rushing, you're gonna hear all that stuff. And when you take the time to record yourself and critically listen back, it's gonna stink at first. You're like, oh, my voice, if you've never done this, you're like, oh, my voice is heinous. I sound like Kids Bop, I sound terrible, I sound blah, 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 but you will get better. So those 2 things matter so much. Oh, 3. Also, you can put it on social media. Do you know every casting consultant out there nowadays, all the casting people are looking at social media all the time. I personally was not discovered on social media, but most of them are. They're not going to open calls. Most of their stories that they were found on social media, okay? So many reasons to film yourself. So many. That was number 2. Number 3 is kind of connected to number 4, but number 3, know your strengths. This is something that is kind of an evolution. It's going to increase as you do the show. Like Lionel Richie has always said, he said it a bunch of times, this is American Idol University. No matter how far you make it on the show, you will learn something about yourself. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff. And it was so true. It was a huge learning process for me because it really showed me where I stood out, where I had strengths that other people did not have. If you want some concrete examples, I mean, I really came alive on camera, which I think was a big reason that my whole story got told so nicely. Really came alive on camera. A lot of people who are incredible musicians really sink when the camera turns on, which is very hard because this is a competition about music, but it's also a television show. So that's something to know. Anyway, I'm not saying you have to be great on the camera, although it helps. I just mean know your strengths. If you know personality is a strength, let that shine. Be proud of it. If you know that your songwriting is a strength, try to sing original songs as much as you can or present that in your audition. If you know that you sing a specific genre very well and you love to sing that, try to sing those songs. Don't just sing what you think they want you to sing. Ooh. A little tidbit about me that I've said in an earlier video that I'll have posted at this point is that knowing my strengths really helped guide me towards American Idol, because something I've talked about was in my process of after I'd been cast on American Idol, before I filmed my audition, someone from The Voice reached out to me and they were like, we want to give you a contract. We want to bring you in ASAP. It was gonna start filming before American Idol was. I was very stressed by this. Long story short, I knew to my core, my personality was a strength for me, and I knew American Idol, not only did my heart want to do it more, but I knew that American Idol was a platform that showed the all-around package of the person and not just the voice. So I was very steadfast and very confident that this was a show for me. I could have done The Voice and literally been deleted or never made it past rehearsal period. So it's very important to know your strengths, which brings me to tip number 4. Also, know your weaknesses, which is something that I don't want to harp on this one. This is going to be a quick point. Want me to talk the most about it? No. Don't let this bog you down, and I don't want to think about it too much, and I considered not putting it on here. All I mean by know your weaknesses is don't let them bring you down. Do not compare yourself too harshly, because you will never be the best singer in the room. And if you think you are, probably not. but it's important to be self-aware. It is, because it gives you, well, it motivates you. When I did the show the first time, I was like, holy crap, I need to work on my singing. I watched 195 of the best singers during lines of 10, and I was like, oh gosh, I am not good enough to be here. I knew technically I wasn't the best singer, and what I did for season 3 was I worked on the technical part of my singing. I was like, I knew my strengths, I knew my personality, and my ability to talk on camera and talk about anything was cool. I don't need to practice that. What I needed to practice was my singing. Did some shows, practiced a lot, recorded myself a lot. Anyway, other things like, it's just knowing yourself. Like, if you know you mumble a lot, that's gonna be hard on a TV show. They're gonna wanna learn about you. They're gonna want you to talk a lot. There are so many interviews in this thing. Maybe you're gonna have to work, just, you know, that little reminder like, okay, I gotta speak up, or whatever that is. Every time somebody asks you, what do you do for fun? Because you get those things a lot. Like, they wanna know quirks. They wanna know little things you do. What do you do in your free time? If you, every time those kinds of questions get asked, you just draw a blank, maybe you should do something so simple as write them down. Have a little note section on your phone so that you've rehearsed that a little bit, just so if you're like, oh, I have all these things to offer, but every time I get asked under pressure, I forget. You've just practiced it. You got a little bit of reminder so that you can let your music shine.
Okay, okay.
Awesome. Number 5 is very important in life, okay? Not just to these shows. Do not, I repeat, do not be afraid of failure or of what other people are going to think of you. Bye to that. Listen, fear is the biggest roadblock I've experienced in my life. Letting go of that, or actively working to rise above fear every single day, has changed my life and my mindset and my success rate just by an astronomical amount. Seriously, on your rise up, as you do these shows, you put yourself out there. 100% of the time, you are going to receive criticism from people. That kind of stuff, I firmly believe, comes from a place of sadness, and it's about them, not about you. When my audition aired on American Idol in front of, and went
viral,
the first comments on there was, this girl has Tourette's, this girl is mentally disabled. I just, literally the second I saw that, I never read another comment again. It doesn't matter, because you know what? That was one of the most incredible moments of my life, and I'm so proud of myself. And guess what? As people saw my success on the show, the colors started changing. I mean, with every mean comment, 100 times that, you're gonna be supported by other people, and more so than what anybody else thinks. You are going to be so proud of yourself, and that is the most beautiful feeling in the world, and one of the most important things a person can have is to be proud of themselves. And especially in these creative fields, if you have these desires, you need to feel proud of yourself, because you are gonna fail at things. You are not gonna win the first time. Very small shot you're gonna win the first time. And if it looks like someone won the first time, you probably didn't see when they failed. Literally, there's a lot of people, didn't Maddie Poppy, she won American Idol, but she was on The Voice a couple years before and didn't win? Those things happen all the time, you just don't see them. So that being said, you're going to fail, so get freaking ready, pick yourself up again, and let's keep going. The pride you're gonna have and the joy you're gonna have of trying at this and potentially succeeding and eventually succeeding is so much better than anybody else's opinion. So your opinion is what matters. Okay, tip number 6 is very important.
And this was my demise on the show.
Pick good songs. And there's a lot of factors that go into this when you're going to pick good songs, because what does that exactly mean? There's some things to think about. Okay, one thing that stuck out to me the most when I watched 195 singers sing 45 seconds to a minute of a song in lines of 10 in a row, the people that stood out to me were the ones who told a story. There was an emotional connection to the song. It can be an up-tempo song, they could be jamming out, having a blast, or they could be singing a very sad song, a cappella. Didn't matter, the ones who had an emotional connection, you can tell that singing is a beautifully personal experience that can be shared with an audience. You must connect to the song. Do not pick something because you think they want you to hear it. Pick something because you love it. Make sure the lyrics matter to you. It means this will carry you so far, I promise. Another thing to remember, and luckily I was warned of this before I went on the show.
This is not a run competition. This is not a vocal riff competition.
Okay, literally take my word for it. It does not matter. If it's your thing, do it as many times as you want. Do it tastefully, of course, but this is not a vocal gymnastics competition. This is about storytelling, about sharing your heart with other people to make them connect with you. eventually one day the goal is, you know, to be a musician, for them to want to buy your songs, your music, connect with you, come to your concerts because they feel something with you. You must share a story that you care about, okay? Do not just run through the whole song. And I mean like, yeah, that kind of stuff, if you don't know what a vocal run is, okay? So pick songs you love, not because you think someone else wants to hear it. It will bring you so far. Okay, cool. Tip number 7 is related to song selection. Lionel Richie talks about this all the time. Consider what your instant identity is. Okay, what I mean by that is in auditions, whether you're auditioning to get to a show or you're walking up and singing in front of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, whatever the circumstance is, you're singing in front of strangers, you have a very little amount of time to make an impression. From the second you walk in the door, how you carry yourself, the sounds you're making, all that stuff is an instant. How you look, how you dress, how you speak, all is creating this instant identity. When someone sees you, what they think about you, their first impression. It actually matters how your song choice aligns with that identity. Let me tell you a little story. You've all seen my American Idol audition when I did the box, did all the crazy stuff. Okay, when I walked in there, that all happened pretty much exactly like it happened on how it was edited. That being said, when I walked in there and I finally said I'm gonna sing, I sang Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin. Okay, immediately got composed, sang this big, beautiful ballad song, right? What Lionel Richie said to me right away, he was like, so you know what you did when you walked in here was a totally different person than when you sang. And I knew that, and I kind of just knew that it was gonna be a shock to the system. Didn't know that would kind of end up hurting me because I was new to this thing. I knew it would be a shock because I've always wanted to sing more serious repertoire. Anyway, what I also knew was that I was gonna bring a lot of energy. So my second song I brought was Shot by the band Lawrence, which is what you guys all saw. And my response to Lionel was, hey, I actually have a song that probably fits my energy better. So it makes sense. So what's gonna happen is a TV show is gonna film you for 20 hours a day for all these days. It's gonna feel like 7 months of your life is gone filming, or even more. And then all of a sudden it's gonna get whittled down to 1 minute or 5 seconds or 20 seconds. They have to, as a show, be able to create a very obvious trajectory for you. You have to have an instant identity because America doesn't have 40 hours to watch just you. They've got to watch all the other contestants. So having this instant identity, you should also try to match your song choices with whatever you are. If you're gonna dress like a total country star, you probably shouldn't bring in an Irish hymn. I don't know. You should probably bring a country song, if that makes sense, okay? Because they're looking for that. Genre, instant identity, song choice, they actually should really align. It will help you so much, I promise. That doesn't mean if you want to take an Ariana Grande song and make it country and really own it, that's cool too, okay? Tip number 8. We're almost done. Okay, PAP. Practice, audition, and perform. Okay, these things really matter. I feel like my story of how I got cast is sort of this little bit of, it sounds like an anomaly of what I'm about to say, of like practice your craft, because it's like I stumbled into this one audition, this fateful day, and all of a sudden I was cast. That's one, not very common, and two, not exactly the truth, because I went to music school. I have done voice lessons for years and years and years. I've done musical theater when I can. I did a cappella and classical training for years, and then I went to music school in the 2 years preceding American Idol and studied music all day, every day for 2 years. 2 years is not enough, let me tell you. Long story short, practice your craft. Practice your singing, seriously. It's so important. Practice your songwriting. Seriously, you will continue to get better. Perform. It's so, and audition. You know why those things are important? Because when you get on stage or you go to a showcase or a workshop or you audition somewhere, you'll get to know what the audience likes or what the people react to. When they laugh, if you make jokes, if you like like when I get up there sometimes, people are constantly laughing. I don't even know that I'm cracking jokes. Or if they don't laugh at any of your jokes, note that. Or if everyone loves this particular song you're doing, remember that. Those are really important notes, and you really only get them from performing your stuff in front of other people. So that really matters, and so does practicing. I think a lot of people want instant results nowadays because we live in this like instant gratification world. That is not the case. So practice, get in the practice room, perform, do as much as you can, because you literally, I never knew the day was coming for me, ever. And I of course didn't feel ready, and I just stumbled my way through it until they were like, you are done. But no, truly, you will continue to get better. The practice never ends. Okay, tip number 9, we're done after this. Tip number 9, super important. Have fun. Seriously, have fun. So important. If you score an audition or you get on the show, dang it, positivity and joy is infectious, contagious in all the best ways. This is supposed to be, these shows, American Idol, do you know what it's about? Making dreams come true.
It is the most, it gives me chills.
All over my body. It is the most beautiful thing in the world to make somebody's dream come true. If that doesn't make you the happiest person in the room, something's wrong. It's so beautiful. It is such a beautiful process, changes people's lives, and it is one of the most amazing opportunities in the world. The whole experience was one of the most divine and special things I've ever had. Please be joyful about it, because people want to see that. They want to see you're grateful and they want to dream through you. It matters. Oh, it's so important. And just relish in the opportunity. The audition, that one little audition, that moment you might never forget. Or if it leads you far, the whole experience you will never forget. So those things, those are my 9 tips to getting as close to getting cast on something like American Idol. I mean, every single one of those from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much, and I love this experience, and I hope others get it too. I hope this helped. Leave me feedback. If you have questions about something, or you're like, do a video about this, I'd love to see it in the comments. I definitely want to give back, because this was such an amazing opportunity, and I learned so much. I have so much knowledge in here about it, and I want to share it with people. So I made this video. I love you. I hope this helped. Seriously, bye.